Good afternoon, guys. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters and the Pathfinder School. Let's talk about cordage management. Something that we all carry. It's something that we all have in our kit. It's one of the 5 main C's of survivability. But how much cordage do we carry? We oftentimes either carry way too much to err on the side of safety, or we don't have enough. How can we figure out the best way to carry our cordage so that it's the most usable to us? We're not cutting it all the time to a certain length, and we can figure out exactly how much we really need to carry. So how do we figure out exactly how much cordage we need? Well, you're never going to be exact, but you can get close. And you can set your cordage up so that certain lengths of cordage are all exactly the same in your kit, so that it doesn't matter which one you grab, it's going to be the same as any other cord that you grabbed, and it will be applicable to all of the different applications that you may need. Stay with me on this. So first, let's speak to what I would call the emergency utility cord that's in your pocket. It is a 6-foot piece that is hanked of 550 paracord. It has a bowline knot in one end, stop knot in the other. I can use this for an outer belt if I need to, twice around because it's 6 foot. If I have to put equipment to the outside of outerwear for easy access. It's a spare bootlace or 2 if I need it. It's also an emergency constricting device that I can use as a temporary tourniquet till I get a real one on or get to a real one that may be in my kit. There are lots and lots of things that I can use this for, up to and including an emergency bow drill string if I need it. So this one is always my EDC in my kit. But what else do we carry and why? So when we start to look at rope and cordage carry, I like to look at things historically. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You can always improve on it, but you don't necessarily need to make it completely different or something new. And the Commando Rope is something that was carried by British and Australian forces during World War II. It was adopted into the Boy Scouts of America in the 40s. And it was just a piece of 6-foot rope, heavier gauge than 550, but made from manila, 5/8 manila rope, which probably didn't have much more tensile strength than 550 cord does today. And it had a toggle on one end and a loop on the other. So it could be joined to make longer lengths, and that's important to understand. You can always join a shorter length to make it longer with a loop-to-loop or toggle-to-loop connection. And it can also be used alone for different types of tasks. And you've seen me use a single rope like this around a tree to hang my gear off the ground and at waist level to help save me energy at camp and also keep my gear off the ground. That's another great use for this cord. So now we're up to a couple uses. I want one of these in my pocket, and I want an extra one to make sure I've got something to hang my gear up at camp. That's 2 things. So if I have 2 of these 6-foot pieces of cordage, I can accomplish those things. I have my emergency and I have something to hang my pack up with. So now thinking, what else may I want to do at camp every time I'm there, or the majority of the time, that a 6-foot piece of rope is adequate enough for, or if I need it longer, I can add another piece to it in an emergency by a loop-to-loop or loop-to-toggle connection. So let's talk about that. Common things that I would probably do in every camp is set up a tarp. So if I have 4 orange guy lines that have reflection on them just to improve the system a little bit more, then I have 4 pieces of 6-foot guy line that are reflective automatically in my kit, and they're 6 feet long. And for the most part, 6 feet's going to be enough. If it's not, again, you could take another piece and add it to there on a loop-to-loop or loop-to-toggle connection to extend the length of that one line that you need just a little bit longer. So now we have 4, the one in my pocket, the one on the tree. We now have 5 pieces that are 6 feet long. Other things that I may want to do in camp, occasionally, I may want to make a tripod. I can easily use that one piece of 6-foot rope to make a tripod and have enough left over to hang my pot over the fire. And if not a tripod, and I've got a galley pole scenario, I may want something that I could just lash 2 forks together with to hang my bush pot from a galley pole. Either way, that 6-foot piece is plenty long. And it's not exorbitantly too long. And that's the key to that. So, again, that's one utility that I might use that rope for. So there's another piece of rope I may put in my kit. There's 4, 5, 6 of these 6-foot ropes. What else might I do occasionally? Well, occasionally I may want to make a sling for my axe so that I can carry it off into the woods to get firewood and come back. And I may want a piece just to carry firewood in some type of girth hitch fashion. so a couple more is not going to hurt. I may want to make an improvised buck saw, and I can use that same 6-foot piece 3 times around for a 21-inch buck saw, or 2 times around for a 30-inch buck saw. So now I'm up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, possibly 9 or 10 if I want a spare piece of cordage, and I'm still at less than the 100 feet of paracord that you buy in one single hank. And then probably the last piece of cordage I would want to carry with me would be the 30-foot hasty ridgeline that we've talked about in so many videos, and about 6 or 8 titanium stakes, so it doesn't have much weight. All on a single carabiner. Again, it doesn't weigh very much because it's made out of aluminum, so it's a lightweight carabiner. I've got my toggles already on there for my tarp, and I'm ready to go. Now I have a cordage management system. I figured out that I want about 6 or 8, probably 8 pieces of this 6-foot cordage. That's 48 feet, plus 30 feet of ridgeline. I'm up to 78 feet, plus the one in my pocket. I'm now up to 84 feet. So I'm still at less than that 100 feet that I would buy one hank of paracord, cut it down to the lengths that I want and that I need, and then not worry about fumbling through 100 feet of paracord to get what I want. They can all be the same length of 6 feet, except for my hasty ridgeline, which is about 5 pulls or 25 feet. Somewhere between 20 and 30 is fine. And then if you add the lengths it takes to add knots to the ends of these cordages, like your bow lines and things like that, you're probably looking at 7 foot per piece of cordage. So you're getting really close to that 100 feet to cut it down and make a utilitarian system for carrying your cordage and organizing it within your kit. This has been a very abbreviated version of a seminar that I put on at the Pathfinder Gathering this year, and I will make separate videos for each of these tasks that this cordage can be used for, different ideas for storing your cordage and making sense of exactly how much and what length cordages we carry, and I'll upload it to the virtual classroom, and I'll put a link in the description box of this video on that. But this gives you a pretty fair taste of the system itself, and you can develop it from there to suit your needs. I appreciate your views and I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, and for our business, for all our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, visit my website if you feel inclined. A link is at the bottom, or my Amazon store for some things that we do not carry on our website currently. Either one of those helps support me, my family, and my business, and I appreciate it. I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.